Article 350.7 titled Use is Not Permitted was incorporated into the National Electrical Code (NEC) in the 1996 edition. This specific section outlines the instances where liquid-tight flexible metal conduit (LFMC) is prohibited from being used. Understanding the restrictions outlined in Article 350.7 is crucial for ensuring compliance with the electrical codes and preventing potential safety hazards. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards and guidelines for safe electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years to reflect advancements in technology and address emerging safety concerns. The adoption of Article 350.7 in the 1996 edition signifies a specific point in time when these particular restrictions on LFMC usage became a formal part of the NEC requirements. Now let's dive into the applications for which liquid-tight flexible metal conduit is not permitted as detailed in Article 350.7. Firstly, LFMC shall not be used where subject to physical damage. This means that in locations where the conduit is likely to be struck, crushed, or otherwise harmed, LFMC is not an acceptable wiring method. The reasoning is that LFMC's construction, while providing liquid-tight properties, may not offer sufficient mechanical protection against significant physical impact. Secondly, LFMC shall not be used where unprotected from the direct rays of the sun. Continuous exposure to ultraviolet (UV) radiation from sunlight can degrade the conduit material over time, leading to cracking, brittleness, and a loss of its liquid-tight characteristics. This restriction is particularly relevant in outdoor applications. Thirdly, LFMC and associated fittings approved for direct burial shall be permitted for underground runs where suitably protected against physical damage and corrosive conditions. When you are using LFMC underground, it must be specifically listed for direct burial, and you must also protect it from physical damage and corrosion, such as encasing in concrete or using a listed conduit system. Fourthly, LFMC shall not be used where exposed to substances detrimental to the materials of which the conduit is constructed. This means that if the conduit is likely to come into contact with chemicals, oils, or other substances that could degrade or corrode the LFMC material, it is not an appropriate choice. Careful consideration must be given to the environment in which the conduit will be installed. Fifthly, LFMC shall not be used where installed in lengths longer than 1.8 meters or 6 feet, except as permitted by 350.73, 4, 5, and 6. This limitation on length is in place to address potential issues with voltage drop and difficulty in pulling conductors through long runs of flexible conduit. Understanding these exceptions to the length limitations is important. Sixthly, in hoistways LFMC is not permitted, other than as permitted in 620.21. This exception refers to specific elevator wiring requirements. The general prohibition reflects the potential for physical damage and the need for more robust wiring methods in elevator shafts. Remember to consult the specific requirements outlined in Article 620.21 for elevator applications. Seventhly, in storage battery rooms LFMC is not permitted, as described in 480.9. Storage battery rooms often contain corrosive substances and require wiring methods that are resistant to chemical damage. Article 480.9 provides additional guidance on wiring in these types of environments. Compliance with Article 350.7 is not just a matter of adhering to regulations, it is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Using the correct wiring method for the specific application helps prevent electrical hazards, equipment failures, and costly repairs. When planning an electrical installation, it is always recommended to consult the latest edition of the NEC and seek guidance from a qualified electrical professional. They can help you determine the appropriate wiring methods and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Understanding the specific applications where LFMC is prohibited can save significant expenses by preventing rework and ensuring that the correct materials are used from the outset. For instance, using LFMC in direct sunlight would lead to premature degradation and require replacement, resulting in additional labor and material costs. Similarly, using LFMC in an environment where it's subject to physical damage would necessitate more frequent repairs or a complete system overhaul. Therefore, adhering to Article 350.7 not only guarantees safety but also contributes to the long-term cost-effectiveness of the electrical installation. Furthermore, compliance with the NEC, including Article 350.7, is crucial for insurance purposes. Insurance companies often require that electrical installations meet the standards set by the NEC. Failure to comply with these standards can result in denial of coverage in the event of an electrical fire or other incident. In addition to cost savings and insurance considerations, compliance with Article 350.7 promotes a higher standard of workmanship. Using the correct materials and installation methods demonstrates a commitment to quality and professionalism. This can enhance the reputation of electrical contractors and foster trust with clients. The NEC is continuously evolving to address new technologies and safety concerns. Staying up to date with the latest edition of the NEC is essential for all electrical professionals. This includes understanding changes and updates to articles such as 350.7. Regularly reviewing the NEC and participating in continuing education courses can help ensure that you are knowledgeable about the latest requirements. In summary, Article 350.7 of the NEC specifies the use is not permitted for liquid-type flexible metal conduit. These restrictions are in place to ensure safety, prevent equipment damage, and promote compliance with electrical codes. Understanding these limitations and adhering to them is crucial for all electrical installations. Remember that LFMC should not be used where subject to physical damage unprotected from direct sunlight when used for direct burial unless specifically approved, where exposed to detrimental substances, in lengths exceeding 1.8 meters or 6 feet except as permitted, in houseways except as permitted, and in storage battery rooms as described in 480.9. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe, reliable, and cost-effective electrical system.